You'll see this man talking so much trash. What makes you different? So you think he was just going to be nice to you and only you? Come on, sweetie. Come on now. We got to do better. We got to do better. Hello, you guys. My name is Crystal, and thank you all for tuning into Chris Codes. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bell, if you will, so you can get notified whenever I drop a new video. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Bye.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, so it's Friday and we're gonna go ahead and get into some foolishness. So this Friday, we're gonna talk about Dr. Umar Johnson, and we're gonna talk about Mr. Kevin Samuels. Goodness, let's get into it. Okay, so those of you all that do not know who Dr. Umar Johnson is, he's a doctor of clinical psychology. He is also, I believe, a certified psychologist for schools. So he basically works with African-American children. He's really big on that. And if I'll probably insert a few clips of the things he kind of talks about, but he's real like Black Power.
Totally against interracial relationships?
I am totally against it, and I want to make sure you understand why. It's not because... Cut it out, Envy. We have a name for it.
Okay.
The Snow Bunny Crisis.
Okay.
I am against the Snow Bunny Crisis. And I want your white listeners to understand. Because people be trying to say stuff like, he's the Black Hitler. I'm not the Black Hitler. I am in no way interested in hurting or harming the life of any human, white, Asian, Chinese. I believe in respecting everybody. The reason I'm against interracial marriage, Envy and Charlemagne, is because marriage is an economic contract. It's an economic contract. Most women do not marry down in status. They marry up. And if you don't believe me, show me a rich white woman married to a broke-ass black man. Have you ever seen a rich white woman marry a broke-ass black man? No, you have not, and you never will. Because marriage ain't about love, it's not colorblind, and it is totally economic. So if marriage is an economic unification and a contract, how can we, who don't have enough already, give so much to the white woman and to white people who have already taken too much when we got all these black women out here who will never get married? Only 1 out of every 4 black women in America will ever taste marriage. And half of them who taste marriage will be divorced within 5 years. If you want to save the black family, you have to protect it. And in order to protect it, you have to be against interracial marriage. You can't say, I love the black family, but I don't have a problem with interracial marriage. Interracial marriage is eliminating the black family because it is not providing our women with enough available and able black men to be their husbands.
So clearly he's not an ignorant individual, okay? And for those of you all that do not know who Kevin Samuels is, Kevin Samuels also does YouTube, but he's like kind of like a dating guru of that nature. You know, the what's the good ones? What's his name that just got into some foolishness? I'll insert a clip of him because I cannot think of his name for some reason. But he's basically like a dating coach, life coach, of that nature, but he's very brutal. Like, I'm gonna insert some clips of him just being like, oh my gosh, he's the your average at best dating coach. I don't know if you all remember that, but here's the clip.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women. Off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
I mean, my body is not average, so.
But you're, ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but.
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay. Average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I mean, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
Sometimes I feel like, in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone. Straight up. Because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. And the only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina. But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities.
Okay, you guys. So Umar Johnson and Kevin Samuels, they have beef, okay? Beef. Like, all right. So when I first heard about this, I thought, I was just like, here we go, some foolishness. But then I thought, content. So let me make long story short. So apparently, like during some of Kevin Samuels, he's sometimes on his podcast or his YouTube videos, he takes calls. So they're like live, live feed, live videos, and he takes calls from individuals and answers whatever questions they may have, or has a conversation with them. And in this particular conversation, the young lady basically said, oh, why can't you talk to us like Dr. Umar? Now, like I said, Dr. Umar is very like Black Panther. He's very, about Black people as a whole. He's interested in uplifting Black people. So he's not the one to tear you down, okay? Where Kevin Samuels, I'm not going to say he's just like in the business of tearing Black people down. I think that's a bit much, but I will say he's very, very blunt. So with me saying that, he says whatever he feels is necessary. And when I look at it, some things I do think, okay, he's not wrong. I would say he's not wrong, but it's how he says things. Sometimes I think it's a bit too much. And I'm guessing too, his audience is a majority Black people or Black women in general. So it's a lot of Black women that call into his show. And I don't understand why they do that anyway. Because if it was me, I wouldn't want advice from this man. Like granted, he might know what he's talking about. He might know what he's doing and all that. But it's screaming. It's giving me desperate. Okay. It's giving me, instead of asking God or waiting for God to send me the right man for me, or examining myself and asking God to examine me and work on myself, that way I attract what I want or what's best for me, I'm going to this man, and asking him what's wrong with me, to find a man.
Cut the cameras.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that dynamic at all. I'm not going to go to this grown man asking him what I should do. I don't know if he's married or anything like that, but I feel like it's a person out there for everyone. And I feel like once you're stable, once you got a right mindset, you know, once you have your things together and you don't have all these issues, you know, because a lot of times people just have some serious issues, you know. You're angry, you take offense to everything, you expect people to take care of you, you know. Your husband, yeah, okay, but this man ain't your husband yet. You know. So it's like when you start to work on yourself, you start to build yourself and figure out who you are in general, then you'll attract what you would need and what you would want. That's why you say, ask God to examine you. Search my heart, Lord. Show me who I am and show me my issues so I can fix my issues. So when that right man comes along, you know, you'll know it and it'll be healthy. You won't be arguing all the time. You won't be fussing and cussing and carrying on because you've done that inner work. You know what I mean? And if they haven't, then that just might not be the person for you. But do I think you need this man on YouTube? I'm not knocking YouTube because I'm telling you, everything's on YouTube. You can learn how to do everything on YouTube. You run into some very inspirational people on YouTube. But me personally, like just his delivery, like I think it's entertainment. But would I be calling into his show? Absolutely not. Period. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Let me not get into the rants because you know I'm good for it. But let's get into the beef. Let's get into the foolishness. So apparently, this young lady called in, like, why can't you talk to us like Dr. Umar Johnson does? And, you know, he kind of had a little attitude. I'm going to go ahead and insert that clip here.
Dr. Umar Johnson, the man who has 2 children by 2 different women that he never married. Dr. Umar Johnson. The guy that for the last 10 years has not built brick one of a school he's collected money from. Dr. Umar, hold on, ma'am. Dr. Umar Johnson, the man who calls you queen, mother, goddess, and all this other kind of stuff. And again, for those who are keeping score, this is another woman who comes on and says, talk to us more like Umar. The Prince of Pan African, Big Papa's in the house. Run my donations. I mean, shout out to Umar. I ain't got no problem with the dude, but I think it's funny y'all keep coming over here asking everybody to talk like Umar. Queen Mother Garland, Cocoa Butter and Sea Moss Gold.
Okay, so as you can see in the clip, he clowned him, okay? He was talking trash. Like, he's good for it. He's gonna talk trash. That's what he does. Some stuff is facts, you know? Some people need, like, brutal honesty. I work best with constructive criticism, but I don't need a man telling me I'm a 6 at best, you know? Never that. You know, anyways. So, yeah, he clowned him. He definitely clowned him. And it's like, maybe he was just a bit frustrated, you know? Like, oh, y'all just keep coming on my platform telling me I need to be like somebody else, but I'm me at the end of the day. And if you didn't want me, you shouldn't have called in. And that's why I went into my whole little rant prior, because it's just like, okay, why did you expect? You would know them by their fruits. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say it. You know, if you see this man clowning people, talking trash, you know, just not a care in the world.
I stopped giving a damn. You know, I wasn't working as hard. I stopped going on runs and things like that.
And during that time, have you had sex?
During what time? When I was younger?
During the time during the time you fell off, were you having sex at any time during that time?
Yeah, for sure, you know.
And that's the problem, guys. You continue to stick your penis in this. That's the problem. That's why they can get on the camera and start talking about mediocre men when big as a planet, smoking a cigarette. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's like, okay, I cannot honestly sit back and listen to a woman who's built like the planet Ego talk about mediocre men while she's smoking on a motherfucking Newport? Are you serious?
Okay, how much do you weigh?
220.
I weigh 210 and I'm 6'4". You broke the first rule. See, you ladies don't mind breaking the rules. The men are visual. The men want women that are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. I don't mind being the size of, I'm sorry, you're 5'8"?
I'm 5'8".
You're about the size of Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders was. You're a running back size.
Okay.
You can hit the A gap like a motherfucker.
Yeah, all right. I accept
So don't
that.
come in here and talk about what men should not be able to do when they got to accept somebody who can run out the power I.
Okay.
I mean, I'm being silly.
At the same time, no.
I know you see the clips. I know y'all saw the clips, okay? You'll see this man talking so much trash. What makes you different? So you think he was just going to be nice to you and only you? Come on, sweetie. Come on now. We got to do better. We got to do better. And that was a big thing with that. But I could see like his frustration is just like, y'all not going to come on my platform telling me to be like this person and be like that person. You know, if you want me to be like them or you want some advice or whatever from them, go buy his book. You know, like I could see that. I could see that. And where Dr. Umar came in, you know, of course, he had something to say about this whole little scenario. So I'm going to go ahead and insert his clip here.
I'm going to speak power and strength into our beautiful African sisters. That's right. I'm going to build you up. And what makes it so bad about these so-called life coaches, some of them actually regurgitate a lot of Dr. Umar talking points. People send me clips. People send me clips of some of these YouTubian opportunist so-called life coaches, and I'm seeing some of them quote me verbatim without giving credit to their source. And some of them claim to not even like me. So why are you quoting my material and not referencing me? You obviously watch me. You obviously watch me because too much of my material is coming out of your mouth. It's a whole group. There's at least 12. I think I've counted 12 different YouTubian beta male wannabe life coaches that are out there slandering black women, attacking black women, degrading black women. I count about a dozen. I'm going to call them the dirty dozen of division. The triple D, the dirty dozen of division. There's about 12 members of the dirty dozen of division, 12 beta males, YouTube life coaches who are trying to build a platform by making black women feel bad. I don't like it. I can't appreciate black men trying to make a dollar off of making black women feel bad. And unfortunately, our black women, some of them are so thirsty for validation that they're participating. They're participating in the attacks and slander against the black female community, and that's not acceptable.
So the way he looks at it is just like, okay, keep my name out your mouth. And it did give me the vibe like, okay, he watches him, because he was kind of like mocking him or quoting some of the things that he says. So it's just like, okay, so you're a fan. So you're a fan, and that's what you're saying, you're a fan. That's okay, you know. And I feel like Dr. Umar is very educated, so we all have those moments where we're just like, you know, I'm gonna bring it down to your level, you know. I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna clap back, you know. But I feel like he didn't have to. You know what I mean? Like, he's built his following. People know what he stands for, and I get it. And I do see where he's coming from when he talks about, you know, him kind of talking down to black women and all that. And it does, because it seems like he's only, you know, speaking to black women. And it's kind of cringy because it's like every race has women that, you know, are a little too big for their britches. I'll just leave it at that. But every race has that, but it does seem like he's just targeting black women. But we're not going to go and get into that because we could talk about that all day. But yeah, I do feel like he probably should have just ignored it. You know, like, who are you? You know, I'm not even going to give you the time of day. But, you know, sometimes we can't always take the high road. You know, maybe he was just like, had it. And he did say it was like 12 individuals or whatever that was stealing his content or saying the things that he said. So maybe he just wanted to address it right then and there. Now, as for whose side I'm on, I'm gonna go with Dr. Umar. Now, I don't even watch his content or anything like that. Not really. But I'm gonna go with him just because it's like, he was kind of attacked, you know. He was kind of attacked, you know, and every now and then, like, it's like we try to be the bigger person in every situation, but sometimes it just doesn't go as planned, you know. So I kind of would be willing to cut him some slack with that. But with Kevin Samuels, he's all like, you know, I don't have a problem with the dude, but you're mocking him. You didn't think he was gonna like take offense to that. And maybe it's just his personality, but just because you're very straightforward, it doesn't give you the right to be rude, nasty, you know? And that's how he comes across, just rude and nasty. And maybe that's what gets him his followers. But, you know, I just prefer those people not around me. And if you know me, you know I'm a very honest person. I try to be a very honest person. I try to be very straightforward, especially with certain things. But I wouldn't consider myself rude. I wouldn't just be telling, oh, no, you're 6. No, no. It's just not my cup of tea, which is probably why I don't really watch him. But, you know, this is Foolishness Friday, so we're gonna talk about the foolishness. So, you know, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about Umar Johnson, or what you think about Kevin Samuels. Do you think Kevin Samuels was right? Do you think Umar Johnson was right? Or do you just think, you know, they're both just being children about the whole situation and it should have just been blown out the window? It's not that serious, whatever. But, you know, tell me what you think in the comments. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bell, if you will, because you can be notified every time I drop new content. Comment, subscribe. Thank you all for tuning in. I love you guys, and see you all for the next video. Bye.